Hi everyone, my name is Anna. Welcome back to Cactus Caffeine. So lately I have been doing a lot of repottings and I have repotted a lot of my cactus, but this one I was not able to repot it right away. I should have done it at the start of spring. Right now we're in the middle of summer. I should have done this like 2 months ago. However, I wasn't able to do it right away. So anyway, this is what happened. This is a Myrtillocactus geometrizans. So it's a columnar cactus. So when I took it out of its pot, so it was so root bound. It was in a small pot. Both of them are in a small pot, like a 4-inch pot. And so it was so root bound. The soil was so compact. And so what happened was, when if you look closely, this bottom column is so narrow and thin compared to the one on top. So this is how it's supposed to look like, but the bottom part has become so narrow. So I think what happened was that when I watered this, the water doesn't actually soak the roots. It just stays on like the top, maybe 1/3 part, 1/3 on top of the pot. So it only gets wet like up to this portion and not the entire root ball. So this cactus is obviously very thirsty, so it wasn't getting enough water. Although when I water, I do see water coming out at the bottom, but I think what was happening is just the water was just dripping at the side of the pot and it wasn't really getting into the center of the roots. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart this cactus, and by that I mean I'm going to do a cutting. So I'm going to cut it maybe in this part, and then the top part I will treat it as a cutting. So I will try to root it or root them on their own, and then the bottom part, maybe it will still grow. Hopefully it will grow new columns. So if I just plant this in a bigger pot as is, it will still grow, except I am afraid that the bottom part will not expand as much anymore. And if this grows very tall, it might just, fall down, because the bottom is not as sturdy and not as thick, and it might not be able to carry the weight of a very tall columnar cactus. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a restart of this cactus and do 2 cuttings. All right, so let's get started. So if you will notice, when I did the cut, I did it diagonally. Why? Because like I said, I still plan to plant this. Hopefully it will form new offshoots, like new columns here. So I did it diagonally so that if it rains or when I water it, the water will flow down and not accumulate on the top part. Because if you cut it like straight across, water will accumulate on top, and that will cause rotting or fungus or molds to start on top of your cactus. So these cuttings, I'm just gonna let it out to dry for maybe a couple of days or a little more, just so the ends will dry and form a hard callus on top of it before we plant it in the ground. So I planted the vase in a new pot. So this is a bigger pot than where it was before. And then also what I like to do when I have a big cutting like this one exposed is I use cinnamon. So I sprinkle cinnamon on top of it, so to prevent fungus from forming or molds forming on top. So I like cinnamon, not just in my coffee, but also in gardening. So cinnamon has an antifungal properties, and it has worked great wonders for me. I even use cinnamon, guys, when I plant my seeds. I also sprinkle cinnamon on top so I don't get so much molds on the soil. So that's it. And so guys, it has been 3 months since I did the cuttings from this plant, and here are the cuttings now. And I know they've taken root, because even though I try to pull them out, they won't budge anymore. So they have taken hold in the soil. That means the roots have formed underneath, and there's new growths on top as well. So look at that, black spines forming on top. So that means I believe it has taken root. And then look at this one. This is where we got those 2 cuttings from. So after 3 months, you can see they have formed little offsets. So this one has formed a new pop, a bigger one, and then this other one has formed a smaller pop as well. So 3 months. 3 months is what it took for these guys to take root and for this one to form a new pop. But I did this in summer, so if you do this in warmer months, you would see faster results. Like for me, it just took 3 months for these to develop, but if you do this in colder period, you'll still have success, but it might take you a little longer before you see some new offsets coming out of your plant or your cactus. So that's it, guys, for my video today, and thank you all for subscribing to my channel. If you are new, I hope you click that subscribe button and also hit the bell to get notified whenever I post my new videos. So until my next video again, guys, bye and cheers.